undergroundhiphop.com. You brought up a good point a second ago. You are black.
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, you the most controversial interviewer in this area, I think.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Talk about what we might not know from just listening to the album. What are your roots like? Where are you coming from? What spawned Blacastan, the rapper?
Well, the roots is like, I'm no different from anybody else. I came out the struggle, drugs was in my house, all that type of shit. I really don't got to speak too much on that, but what really made me want to say I want to go ahead and do rap and like really try it out and give it what, is like doing time. And that's a lot of other rappers got the same story. But like I was talking about writing with a pen, a commissary pen, and a commissary notepad is where I inked a lot of my first real thought-provoking joints. Like The Life of the Tape. I wrote that in 1998. You know what I'm saying? I wrote that I used to listen to It Was Written. I Gave You Power. I wrote that over Nas's verse. So that's like how real music inspires real music. And it keeps real music going. One real joint inspires another real joint, Some people might say, yo, Nas did that concept. Yeah, but KRS did I'm a Blunt Being Smoked and I Can't Wake Up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like real music is going to influence real music. And that's why it's important to keep the integrity so we can keep the real shit going.
Now, that's interesting what you said right there. You were writing a lot of these verses when you were locked up. Now, being locked up, is it difficult to sit down and, write when you're in prison? Or did you say it's easier because you're away from the streets and all that?
Well, I mean, subject matter changes. Like when I was in the street, I didn't have any time to write any rhymes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was doing what I did, what landed me in jail.
And what was that?
Some crazy shit.
What exactly? No, just out of curiosity, just between us.
Some armed robberies, some kidnapping, some carjacking.
Whoa! I thought you were talking about maybe a little.
Put it like this: I wasn't a good drug dealer. But I used the arms that were strong to, shit like that. But keep that on the low. But
I won't tell anyone. It's good.
Y'all didn't hear that, man. It's over. But the thing is, like, when I was in there, I started to notice the change. Like, I was listening to Lyricist Lounge. I was listening to Sound Bombing. I was listening to Pharaoh March. I was listening to Black Star. Because at that time, hip-hop had went for a change. And towards the mid to late 90s, hip-hop started to change, where it started to get real shiny and bubbly, and party music started to take over.
We can blame that on Mace and Puff Daddy and Mo Money, Mo Problem.
It was we could blame it on them. But what happened was I couldn't listen to it. That's where Me Against the Radio started, right there, when I couldn't listen to the music anymore. So I had to find other music, and I discovered a lot of real crazy artists, and I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. So dudes would freestyle in jail, and they would be in the rec yard or whatever, and you would have your comment, yo, I shoot you down, clap you down, blah, 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 and I would come with stick me in your tape deck, I'm a cassette. And they'd be like, yo, that's cool, but what are you rapping about? And then that's when I knew that there was a real big change, when a lot of people couldn't immediately vibe off my stuff. So I reverted to myself, and I sat and I wrote my joints, and I knew that, somewhere somebody's going to like and feel what I feel. Because in there, it's different, man,
I'm sensing at some point there was also a change in the way you started to see the world yourself. And it sounds like that happened when you were locked down, when you were writing. What's some of the changes you've gone through that got, from when you were younger that got you locked up? You said you armed robbery and all that shit to today. Like, what are some of the, mind frame, what are some of the changes in your state of mind,
Yo, I'm not even going to lie, man. For me, personally, I feel like crime don't pay. Because every time I did crime, I ended up in a juvenile home. I ended up on probation. I ended up in jail. It never panned out for me. It didn't pan out for Tony Montana. It didn't pan out for Gotti. It's just like, it's almost like an illusion. But for certain people that's living in the struggle, that's their reality. So there's hard situations out there. God bless, I was able to pull myself out of that. Yeah. But for some people, that is their reality. Because at one time, it was my reality. Like, school ain't for everybody, sayings like that, which is bullshit. School ain't for everybody. Going to prison is a part of life, which is, depending on what your situation, that might be your part of life. But I was able to recognize what I'm good at and try to turn it around, you know. And so that's why like hip hop is a big thing for a lot of dudes that's in the hood and stuff, and they look at it like that. But if you're looking at it just for a paycheck or because you want jewelry or because you want big booty chicks, I think that's where we kind of we sending the wrong message at that point.